We're going. Right, Ryan, how are you, my man?
I'm good, mate. I'm good.
This is great. We're on. So this is Ryan England, and Ryan has been smashing it in the pool world. And how long has it been now, Ryan? We've been together just over a year.
I would have thought so, yeah. Because yeah, I bet it's not. I don't know if it's towards the beginning of the year, this
Yeah,
year. So
yeah,
in 2000, but obviously I was a part of the Q Sports Hub before that, wasn't I? So
yeah. You
I
were doing the online
pro-
course.
yeah, probably like a good 3 to 6 months prior to that. And then
Excellent.
obviously I've seen you a few times, and that's when you took me on full time. So
Yeah. No, it's been a joy. Obviously, you became a kind of support players at kind of all levels, and obviously you were, doing okay as an amateur and challenger. So yeah, so we took you on because we got on really well when we met at Murphy's, I think it was, wasn't it?
yeah, the first time was Murphy's, yeah, and then the second time we had a little bit of a one-to-one was at the one of the IPA events. I think it was Newcastle, I believe.
I think you're right. I think it was Newcastle. Yeah, James was at that as well, actually. So no, it's great. It's great. So tell us, obviously, tell everybody about Ryan and how did you get started in Q Sports?
Um, so it would be probably age 13, 14 maybe. Coming from my dad telling me to pick up a cue in a pub because he fancied a pint probably, and it leads from there really. So he just says, "I think you've got a natural ability," and he just started taking me down the pool hall. Tried to convince my mum that I'm all right at it, but she wasn't having none of it. And then it led from there, and then it kind of became an obsession quite early on. I'll be honest with you.
It's so much fun, right? When you're that age and you're playing for the right reasons because it's fun, right? Were you doing tournaments back then as
Not straight away because I didn't really know what kind of world you was entering in. It was just enjoyed playing. I used to have two paper rounds at the time. I can remember changing my paper round money into 50p pieces and going for a practice on my own at that age. So I was pretty dedicated straight from the off. Well, I don't know if I was dedicated or just excited off my box really. Just wanted to learn more and just couldn't learn fast enough really.
and was it always 8 ball? You played some snooker as well?
I've not really touched snooker because I'm all or nothing. So like for me to mix it up at that age, I felt like you needed to be playing 10 hours a day to become a professional at snooker at that age. And not just that, I did actually try and get free pool and free snooker at one of the local Q Sports places where I was obviously playing. And I offered to iron the tables and go in my spare time to help out if I could have free pool. And he just said no. So that was that.
Well, his loss, mate. His loss. He never saw the
Yeah.
potential in you. I have.
Yeah, well, I mean, at that age, I mean, if someone approached me at that age, I know what I'd be saying. I'd find it fascinating that someone, wanted to put themselves out there. But yeah, I mean, whether I've got my memory wrong, I don't know. But that's what I can remember when I was a kid, anyway. And but yeah, I still spent plenty of time in there, and that's where I've got my probably first set of pool mates. And yeah, that's just loved it every day, pretty much. Well, 5, 6 days a week, whenever you can, really.
Yeah. So how old were you when you first started playing tournaments?
Probably, I would have thought probably a year or so after,
Right.
18 months maybe. But I can remember having my first England trials when I was 16. So I was might have been 16 going on 17 though, because of where my birthday fell.
Yeah.
And I from age 13, 14 to that period was obviously building my levels up. So I would have thought so around that period, like 15, 16 onwards. because you're approaching a better level, aren't you? So that's when you started to take an interest in entering tournaments and seeing where you're at compared to the other youth in the country, really.
Yeah. How did
So,
that go? Like, did you manage to qualify?
well, the first time I failed, no. So I didn't qualify the first time. It was a bit daunting, and I realised, okay, I've got a bit more work to do. So, but that just lit a fire in my belly, just made me want it even more. So I went, put the hard work in, and I qualified the year after.
Yeah.
And one of the first to qualify as well. You had 8 qualifiers, and depending on your win and loss rate, you qualified in order essentially. So like first, second, and
Yeah.
I was a second person to qualify. So
Jeez. So,
it was
like,
good.
was there 2 teams of 4, like an A and a B kind of thing?
Well, if I remember right, because obviously we're going back a long time, but I can remember that I think there was like 7 or 8 regions. It might be 7. And there was 8 players from each region, and only 8 people qualified. So it was like, and you had to finish the top 8 in your region to get the England trials in the first place.
Right.
Because it was world rules back in the day. And we're talking. I mean, I'm 36 now, and this was so nearly 20 years ago, which is unbelievable, really.
Jeez. Yeah. God, you're 36 now. I never thought you were.
Yeah. No, it's a Botox, I think. Like keeping on top of it.
You're still looking after yourself. I'm only 36 as well, but I've not been looking after myself so good. But no, that's great. So, and then like, was there a break, or did you continue to play throughout your?
No, yeah. So, well, no, I continued after that. Started to have a little bit of a shift. Obviously, 18, introduced to going out, social air, and all that. So that was challenging. I had England trials to automatically qualify for the under-21s. I qualified for them. I got sponsored to go on the tour. I had a season on the tour when I was about 19, and that's kind of where it went downhill after that, because I had a bit of a to do on that tour. Ended up getting suspended essentially because we were sharing rooms. As young lads, we didn't have much money between us, as you can imagine. So we were sharing rooms rather than having rooms separately. And someone basically told on us, and one of us had to take the rap, and I was the one to take the rap. So I got suspended for that season off the tour. And then I kind of thought I would be all right mentally, but I wasn't, because I've gone from competing at the highest level to then trying to get yourself geared up to play in a local league. I've just spiraled downhill from that point on. I think it really affected me upstairs.
So like because like the pressure of the events and stuff, you think, or what was going on?
No, because obviously I lost that drive, because I've gone from playing England under-21s to then being on the tour to then coming off the tour. I just thought, well, what's the point? I didn't have no guidance at that age to even look at what was my route to get back on the tour. It was just like sabotage moment, right? That's it. Kind of like stick your middle finger up and just move on. And then I think that's when I kind of like, well, pretty much was the first time where I hung my key up, really.
This is it. Like I mean, I think obviously from the world, like that I've been an elite sport, as you know. Obviously, working with young players and upper echelons, young footballers and stuff like that, and it's like they've got this at the similar level to yourself from where you were back then. It's like there's obviously a support network of coaches and stuff when they're in the academies with the club, and they've got people they can lean on for support and guidance and stuff. Whereas obviously in Q Sports, at that age, obviously there's just none of that.
No,
you've not had that.
No, and that was I think that was a massive part why I went the way I did, because I know I'm a good listener, to be fair, and I'm quite good at like analysing things and like wanting to improve myself as a person. And I think if I did have the right guidance at that particular time, I think I would have took it.
Yeah.
But it's no one else's fault. It's just the way the cookie crumbles, I guess, isn't it? And for me, it hurt, and the pain that I was feeling was it like, well, I best pull away from this because I couldn't stand the pain from not playing no
Yeah.
more. So I kind of went the other way when really the pain was because I love the sport still, and I actually needed to find a way back into it. But no one was telling me that at the time. So it's just,
It's difficult, like you say, like, it's not a reflection on you or it's just the sport. It's just, where it's at, and, underdeveloped sports, sports that have got a long way to go to catch up in proper elite sports. There's just not the support network as it would be for a young footballer or a young, athlete trying to, head towards the Olympics, etc., etc. They've got so much help and stuff around them, and that's the norm, and that's kind of quite challenging. I think with Q Sports is like if you could go back now, like obviously from think about players that are now 1921 and they're at the same level as you. Like, what would you suggest to do differently now? Like seek advice of an older player, maybe, or
yeah, 1,000%. And obviously social media nowadays as well, listening to stuff like this. Yeah, listening to older players, asking them questions. I mean, social media, I think, is massive now. I think if social media was around then, I think that would have been a help for a lot of people. I mean, people talking about mental health and struggles and obviously addictions and stuff like that. It's just so transparent nowadays. It's the access to it's amazing, and you don't get taught it at school, do you? I mean, I'll be honest with you, that's what they should base a lot of things around. Instead of doing pointless subjects, I think they should be teaching life skills, and they're not taught, are they?
no,
So
I'm totally with you. I mean, I think as well, like you mentioned, like the schools and stuff. I mean, I think they should get taught also about how to earn money, like in terms of like entrepreneurship, going over different ways of earning money, passive incomes, etc., etc., etc. Running a business skills, all of these things. I think imagine if that was happening at school level as well, like how much that would change things in in the
yeah,
business world as well, and people's lives, accordingly. So I think that's like really, really profound. I've had to go out and learn all that as an adult, as everybody else has, because nobody was teaching it from children. And
no,
certainly
that's right.
something I start passing on to my grandkids. My oldest one's 11 now, Noah, and I go over. He's asking about business stuff and now and wanting to see the analytics of the site and like what's all going on, and like there's an interest there from him. Now
Yeah,
that
yeah,
he's starting to learn stuff that he wouldn't learn elsewhere, which is great because they're certainly not getting that at school. None of us did, right?
no, that's right, mate.
But so like, did you? How long was this break that you took as a young adult off the game? Then?
Well, I mean, the break kind of grew itself. So as you can imagine, when it didn't happen straight away, so I was a little bit in and out to start with. Obviously, the person I still play with today, locally, he's the one that kind of always managed me since I was a teenager. So I've always had a loyalty to him, so I always played for him. So he kept me kind of picking the queue up every now and again and playing for his teams and
Yeah, yeah,
counties, etc. But then, obviously, through my 20s, I was dealing with a gambling addiction throughout the whole thing. So every single year that ticked by, so 20, 21, 22, was another year where I wasn't dedicated to the sport. And whilst that was happening, I was watching other players come through, virtually every single one of them that I played with. Because as you can imagine, you're surrounded by the elite players for that age group. And every time someone won a tournament or someone was in the top 32 or going on to do special things, it got harder and harder and harder and more daunting, the thought of coming back, because you just feel like you're constantly, well, it's too late. That's what you're telling yourself. Oh, it's too late now. I've
yeah,
missed that boat. I can never catch him up again now. When actually the whole thing was just wrong, really, because you can achieve whatever you want to in life. You've just got to put your mind to it. But at that age, I didn't know that. So
Yeah.
every single year that ticked by, it was just getting harder and harder and harder to commit to the sport again, because I just thought, the time's gone now. You're not good enough.
Yeah. Absolutely. Do you think, like, your gambling? Obviously, you touched on that. And as I say, obviously, I've not, fortunately, not suffered that in my life. But us in the hub, we've done quite a bit. We've done a podcast before with gambling with Mark King, as you know, and
I watched that.
How much do you think, like, was the cause of the gambling partly because of losing touch with the game and how you felt about that, or
No. The gambling was already in place from probably 15, 16.
right,
Just obviously developed over time. Yeah.
right,
So
right,
I even as a teenager, like I was quite heavy on it. Just
right,
not knowing when to stop, getting obsessed, just quite compulsive personality in general. I'm an all or nothing kind of person. So you're trying to convince yourself that you know better, and you
yeah,
just ego gets in the way. And then as time passes over the years, you realize you're not even gambling to win no more. The high comes before the win. You don't get a high when you actually win. It's like, oh God, is that over now? Oh, I was right there. Oh, so where's my next fix then? Where's my next fix? Where's my next fix? So you're kind of chasing, kind of always trying to answer, am I right? Was I right? Was I right to bet on that? Was I right to get? But when you actually find out where you was right or wrong at the end, there's no satisfaction.
it's a really scary thing. I can't even begin to. It makes my skin crawl just thinking about it. It's like, like what's happened here, and it makes me. I'm just, obviously, like, I mean, I'm working with. I'm just off the phone half an hour ago with Kelly Fisher, and
Yeah.
that's amazing and great. But to be honest, I'm even more in awe of you than her, because, like, what you've been through and where you've put yourself now, it's just unimaginable to me. I mean, it's just it's amazing. How help others, right? How did you turn this around?
Well, first thing first was admit it. So 27 years old when I first admitted it.
Was that tough?
Yeah, tough. Yeah, very tough. So I had to obviously tell my mother. She was the one that I kind of expressed it to first. Let's try and not get upset when I talk about it.
It's tough, buddy. But you've done so well. It's just absolutely amazing. So you were still kind of recovering. Obviously when you and I got together,
Yeah,
just over a
I was in
year
a
ago.
different place. So, like I said, the recovery started from 27. That was the first initial start.
Yeah,
I didn't go down your normal route that other people normally go down. They just go straight full-blooded 12-step process or GA. I kind of dabbled in private therapy to start with,
yeah, good.
and then I went to group therapy, and then I did want to trying to achieve it on my own. So essentially, I delayed it by quite a long time, because it didn't sit well with me achieving the power to stop and not doing it by myself. It
Yeah,
just like, okay, how can I be so ambitious in every all these other different kind of ways? Yeah, I haven't got the power to control, or I needed help, but I still wanted to do it by myself as well.
yeah.
So going to therapy week on week on week on week on week, I didn't want to rely on that. I wanted to understand what was going on with my brain, why I was thinking a certain way, why I was getting triggered more than others. And I wanted a much deeper insight to how my brain even got there in the first place, and why it was so dangerous. So I spent a lot of time going back and forth and putting my own disciplines in place for a lot of years and understanding when I failed, when I didn't fail, when I failed, when I didn't fail, when I failed, and when I didn't fail, and just try to improve myself over the course of the next so many years. And then I obviously improved at that. Thought financially I wasn't getting hindered no more. So once I got to the age of about, I'd probably say 32, 33. So you're looking at a good 5, 6 years later. Financially, it wasn't hindering me nowhere near as badly as it used to.
Right.
Because I could control that. I could have money in my bank no more and not have the urge and all that. I was giving myself obviously excuses to go about betting in a certain way where I thought that was a way that was going to protect myself. But all I was doing is just kind of like slowing down. So it's like a drug. I suppose it's like drip feeding. It's like going from 10 milligram down to 2 milligram. I essentially got myself down to 2 milligram.
Right. Yeah.
So I was ticking over like that for a long time, and I thought I was happy until obviously we went through what we did this a year ago, and we put a stop to it all altogether. And that's when I realised, bloody hell, I was still nowhere near producing or being the best version of myself. But yeah, I thought I was in a good place.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Because we obviously, and thank you for being so open with it. Because like I know, because we've done this in the past with Mark. It was it's we just profoundly help people. Like it profoundly helps other people hearing about what you've gone through, and it gives them confidence that they can do the same. As you have. And obviously, like from my side of things, like obviously, from a performance aspect, you were very, very open about it, which was great. And I knew that in order to build up your, all of our self-esteems, because myself included, everybody's, self-esteem, could do with a nudge up, for all of us, right? And it really effectively, even though your gambling was under control and you were doing it in a small way, it was still not something that was going to make you feel good.
No, correct.
Yeah, and that's why, obviously, we instantly kind of tackled on that. And you were just, again, just mesmerizingly open and you acted. And then I think you had we organised a call, didn't we? You had a call with Mark King.
Yeah, that's right.
And
yeah,
so
good.
That really helped.
Yeah. Well, that after the phone call, that's when I stopped.
Yeah.
So obviously, we was building towards it. You was giving me an inkling of saying, look, if we're going to achieve what we want to try and to achieve in the next so many years, you never actually told me to stop. You left it with me, but you was, I could feel I was getting guided into that direction.
Yeah.
More and more so. So obviously, the call with Mark was simple, just simple. It was two people that's clearly been in the same place, understood. And I just said, well, what am I messing around at?
Yeah, no, exactly. Because at the end of the day, I can't understand it because I've never been there. And some things in life are like that, right? Unless you've been there firsthand, you can't begin to kind of comprehend that, So obviously, that's why, and that's why, we went through it in that manner, because it's your life. It's not my place to tell you
No.
to stop that. That had to be your win, not a win I was gifting you, if you like, But you just you did such an amazing thing. I know James obviously spoke to you as well, and it was just brilliant. And what a start! It's quite a kind of heavy start, but like you came through that just triumphantly, and that's it. It's done now. It's
in the past, yeah.
You're off and running, right? I mean, it's just amazing.
Well, for me, I mean, obviously you approached me, you gave me the opportunity. I was the only amateur you said that you was working with. So obviously I appreciated that, and I thought to myself, I felt privileged. And I thought, to justify being in that situation, how can I not put the same amount of effort in? And put me all in. And by not stopping gambling, essentially, I'm not putting me all in. So I may as well not commit to it. And I may as well not take your help as well.
Yeah.
So because yet again, it's in for a penny, in for a pound, isn't it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. But we're patient and understanding. Like this isn't a kind of deal or that. Like in terms of any deal breaker or that. Like we're in it. With you. But like I said to you from the start, it's like obviously you're one of our supported players, like Stephen Ellis and John Shepherd and Kelly, and it's like but you're the one driving the bus.
Correct.
I'm just one of the passengers on it, together with Warren, your Kill, and all that, and we're all there to, help Ryan along his sports journey and get to where he is, both on and off the table, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, as ever, most of our work is away from the sport, and that infects what happens on the sport, But you've just done to me, it's just an unbelievably remarkable thing. I'm so proud of you, man. You've done so well.
I appreciate it.
No, it's
I appreciate it. I mean, my missus is thankful and all. I'll be honest with you. She always mentions you. But like I say, what you have to understand is as well, you've got to be a realist. You're trying to come back into a sport. You've got ambition to get as high up and high up into that sport as you can, and you've got to be realistic. You can't have 10 to 15 years out of the sport and then think you can come back into it with problems and think you can catch everyone up. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Like for me to catch everyone up, I have to be at my absolute best, and I need to give myself the best chance.
Yeah.
And that's still, and that's just giving yourself the best shot. You don't even know how long it's going to take, or if it's going to happen, or where you're going to get. But if you don't give yourself the best chance, how are you going to find out the result at the end of it? And by having problems, and like I say, the gambling was interfering with my, even though it was under control, like we said, it was interfering with my practice sessions. If I had a bet that day, I'm going out practicing. I can't stop looking at my phone.
Yeah.
That's not a practice session. I'm not learning. I'm just wasting my time on it. So, yeah, it was a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're so good at that, right? This kind of, brutal honesty with yourself. You're very good at looking inwardly at yourself and what you're doing, and applying yourself in there. And it's one of your biggest assets. And you've been incredibly open and coachable to new ways of doing things. But similarly, like you've got to learn to do things. Like I've always kind of let you over the last year make your own errors, and go down paths. It was funny, like where you tried some mechanical stuff.
Yeah, that went down well. Yeah, 3 months completely wasted, and then at the end of it, you told me that I already knew you was going to do that anyway. But
but it was all right.
But at the same time, I'm a kind of person anyway that needs to know the answer anyway.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't sit well with me if I didn't go and find out the answers. If I felt like I could have improved, then I needed to find out if that was the case or not. When
it wasn't wasted, was it? It wasn't a waste because it was another lesson learned. So like Ryan came to me and said, right, I'm going to chase down this mechanical route, and I'm working on some stuff, and I kind of knew obviously where we were working towards, and really that, and we still obviously were in touch and working towards stuff over those 3 months, but I knew it was not a path that was going to pan out from because the answers weren't in Q action. The answers were internally and in yourself, as they are with practically every player that I work with. As it are in all of us, myself included. It's always an inside job, right? And but you had to go through that process, and it's like I'm not going to kind of stop you or another player kind of heading down that route. Absolutely not. Like you need to learn that lesson kind of firsthand. Sometimes it's the answer, but often it's not because obviously, you're mechanically, as with most players, like mechanically, you're a lot better at that side of things than obviously learning about my side of things.
Yeah,
But
correct.
it was good. We had a laugh a bit, didn't we, at the time?
Yeah, we did in the end. I don't know how funny I really found it, like, but I smiled at the end. But like I say, it was all worth it. It's all a part of the growth, isn't it? At the end of the
Yeah.
day. And every single month that goes by, you always feel like you've improved.
Yeah.
However, doesn't mean like things are just going to flip on its head and everything's just going to get better instantly. It's just that you feel like you've just developed and you've crossed one more
Yeah.
box off and another box off, but you don't know how many boxes there's to cross off. There could be thousands.
It's endless. We always are,
So
It's like the end and never ends. I just see like such a change in you. And it's like obviously early on, like, failure and defeat was difficult, frustrating for you. And I just see such a different player now. Like, Ryan sends me, a lot of voice notes, which I absolutely love. I wish, I need to get you to teach the rest in order to do it that often. Because I love hearing from you, and it's great. And he'll send me a voice note, and he's very, like, I wouldn't know what the outcome was until you say, like, you're kind of upbeat, and it's like, yeah. So anyway, I got beat, 7-6 in the decider, and it was cool. It was cool. I played really well, and it's like, and you're absolutely fine with the loss. Whereas
I am now.
Yeah, before
I am now.
that
That has been the progression. I mean, that's a massive thing that we've improved together. I mean, to start with, I found it difficult to even enjoy playing.
Yeah,
Like it was traumatic every time I went out to play and hit a ball on the table. It was like, what the flipping hell am I doing this for? Because I can't enjoy it. I'm an emotional wreck.
yeah.
So to go from that to now be laughing at misses and losing, it's a bit weird. I'll be honest with you.
But fun, right?
Yeah, fun, loads more fun because now I don't have to stress.
Yeah,
And like, obviously, it's just all about trying to be the best version of myself at that particular time. And if at that particular time is not good enough to get the win, it's just not good enough at the time, is it? So
no, well, that's right. That's right. And it's I get personally, I get such a kick out of like supporting players. You guys hanging out with each other because obviously you're pretty friendly with a good friend, Chris, Mr. Waddington, and you practice with him as well quite regular, right?
yeah, as much as I can really. I mean, I feel blessed really. I've got good people around me I can play with. Craig, Clint Hansen, but Clint Hansen's playing a lot of Chinese at the minute, so don't really play with him as much. Greg Davis, which I share the pool room with,
Yeah.
and he's he was ranked 20th on the IPA tour, but obviously we've both crossed over now. Connor Jones, another good player. I travel up to Murphy's a lot, and they've got a bunch of good players up there, so you can go up there and just play 5, 6, 7 of them, and they're just full of talent. So just surrounding myself with the correct players and setting up good games and learning. I mean, I watch a lot of pool as well in my spare time. So even if I don't fancy playing, it's only like if you're doing your own work, you go to school, you do your own work, don't you? So I see my own work as watching pool, checking over patterns and just keeping on top of things and keeping my brain thinking, really.
Yeah. Well, you're very, and I mean this in the nicest way possible. You're spectacularly individual. Like you're a lot different to a lot of people, and just a fabulous way. I mean, I think it's like, you're relentless in your pursuit of getting better. I think your drive and determination is what's gotten you through that drive and determination in you is what's gotten you through your difficulties in life, and obviously your superior kind of mindset and the way you're doing things, over the recent months has just been, absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah,
Really.
and that's very true. And I mean, I'll criticize and I'll push myself every single day. But doesn't mean I walk around the most confident person in the world, because that's definitely not the case. And that's where actually improved since we've been working together as well. Because essentially, because I'm pushing myself so much, it can be a superpower. It can be my weakness sometimes as well. The fact that I'm so determined. And so since I've been working with you, it's stabilized my mind. It's brought me back down to ground zero a few times, and because I can go down a bit of a rabbit hole and it can cause some damage sometimes.
That's okay, right? We're human. We're not trying to kind of make into this kind of forward speed, because that's never going to happen. We are struggling. It's like I've said to you in the past. And many players are kind of always. It always surprises me how shocked players are to hear that. God, do you think my mindset's perfect every day? Of course not. Of course not.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you said that recently, to be fair.
Yeah.
You said that to me recently, and that done me some good favors. You should have said that before. Because when you turn around and says I'd go through the same thing, I'm like, well, Sam, I'm actually happy to hear that.
Yeah, of course. I'm not this flawless human being that goes around skipping up and down the street all the time, and everything, or unicorns and rainbows and stuff. No, not at all. But like I've said in the past, like the biggest difference between myself at 10 out of 10 mental skill set and you guys catching me up as you are, is I'm completely non-judgmental of myself. Like I get stuff wrong, or I'm in a poor frame of mind, I just notice that I'm doing that and correct it, but without any judgment, without any view that I'm doing a bad thing. And I see that players all the time, where they're constantly, oh shit, I'm doing this wrong. And it's like, no, you're not doing anything wrong. You're just learning. You're just doing your best. It's okay.
Yeah, and that's where I've been trying to improve again. Like so obviously we've made some big strides this last few months, and then sometimes I think I was critical of myself for feeling a certain way, and you said no, that's fine to feel that way. You just got to accept it and be okay with it. Yeah, I was being critical just because I felt like that way in the first place. Like I've just controlled my feelings altogether, which is not the case at all.
No, not for any of us. No. But obviously, like I mean, obviously, as the skill set rises, of course, you're in a better space more often.
Massively, yeah.
But it's kind of oxymoronic, isn't it? Like we're trying to put ourselves in a good space, and we're chastising ourselves for not being in a good space, which just makes it worse. It's like,
yeah. Like you say, it's finding that balance, isn't it? Like, I mean, that's what I found fascinating, to be honest with you. That's why I think like it's crazy how it does develop and it's improving. And I know full well I'm still right at the beginning stages here. Like I'm nowhere near. But I've improved like 4 or 5 times what I was at the beginning, and I still feel like I'm just right at the beginning as well. But in a good way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. But understandably, like it's a whole new kind of skill set, and obviously most of the players that are on the hub or ones that work with side by side, they've done at the very most. They've maybe had a few sessions with another coach, or they've read a couple of books at the very most, and that in no way, shape, or form makes anybody an expert in anything. Any skill set, whether to build a house or being a chef or anything else, So Q Sport Hub is, the content is absolutely done for the people who are seeing it, and therefore of a lower skill set on the mental side of things, understandably, because it's usually the first training they've ever had, on that side of things. So it's very kind of I wouldn't say primary school, nursery level kind of stuff. And then obviously as players get more and more advanced, so say like, with Sheppy or Stephen Ellis, I get to do kind of high school stuff. And then I've maybe got a couple of players that I've been with for even longer. And then, we might get to touch on university stuff occasionally, which is, a lot of fun. As well. But, there's so much more. But I think like it's something that's intentionally done, because I think like if I put more advanced stuff on, which I could easily on the hub, what people would do is like the day what I learn the basics will go straight to the deeper stuff.
Yeah, and it's not, and you just can't do that.
No, of course.
No, because and that's dead true, because I feel like I'm a quick learner, and I've had to like. It takes time. It takes a lot of time to develop. You can't just develop it. You have to physically go through it, and then try and self-analyze. I mean, that's one thing I would say is one of my strongest points, is trying to go back and understand everything that's happened, and basically analyze myself and what's happened, to see if I can get over. Well, I won't say get over it, but improve it for the next time round.
Yeah, and players have got to put the practice in, and that doesn't mean, even for the people on the hub, like listening to the hub endlessly every single day, although some people do. But it's like listening to other content, working yourself in other ways. Like for me, I have like half a dozen kind of exercises I try and do on daily basis. Like one of them would be, say like I'm going to wash one of the cars, and it's like I'll do that by hand, and I use that as being in the now practice for me, being in the moment, like you would be on the table, right?
Yeah.
I'm completely gone in this task. And a number of times neighbours have been trying to say hello to me, and I'm completely like blanking. I haven't been aware they've been there, until they tap you on the shoulder, because I'm totally lost. And that's part of me practicing, to be at an elite level on mindset side of things. And obviously any player going into events and not practicing on the table, the results of that are pretty predictable. Obviously you're not going to perform well. And on the mental side of things, it's exactly the same. But obviously players have got no idea how to practice on the mental side of things.
No, that's correct.
Partly what we obviously teach you on the hub, and you're learning to do, on a daily basis,
Yeah, and I believe as well. So I was talking to my work partner earlier. We was talking because he's quite level-headed and very educated, and he's educated himself through life. Do you know what I mean? And we were saying, I think virtually it's 90% of the game when you get to a certain level. You upstairs, because there's nothing else separating you. Like everyone can knock a ball in, everyone can cue a ball in, but can you control everything up here whilst you're doing that?
Yeah.
And I think once you get to a certain level, and that's it, it's literally it's the mind who's got the better mind.
You're totally right, and it's not because like the mindset is more important than mechanical. Not at all. It's just that when you get to your level, everybody is profoundly skilled mechanically. So the defining, and there's tiny percentages between all of you, so the defining factor is mindset, because it's 50% of the game, mechanical, mental.
1,000%.
And it's your level there and how you're able to kind of like control that, because as we see, like, that the margins between winning and losing in pool and snooker are so fine, right?
Yeah, it's so fine, and sometimes you're not even in control. The margins don't even give you a fair chance of winning. So it's even more so that you need to be completely right upstairs, because, let's say you play a game of first to 6, your opponent gets 8 chances, and then you get the remaining 4 or whatever it is, at the table. So for you to be essentially, let's say, tied 4-4, you need him to not take all his chances, and then you need to take all of yours. So if you're not completely stable upstairs to be in the right mind frame to take all them 4 chances when you do get them, you've got no chance. I mean, you already got less chance anyway, because the pool gods have already given you less chance but you need to give yourself you need to put yourself in the best situation to be taking every opportunity that comes your way, and it needs to become effortless as well. I think that video you sent me of Federer, that was cool.
Oh, how awesome!
The 50 where he said he lost over the duration of the old time he played tennis. He lost. He won only 54% of the points.
Aye, yeah, he only won
Something like
54% of the points.
I mean, that's fascinating, isn't it? And that Paul's very similar. Like when it comes to losing and winning legs, it's, you're probably only at anywhere between a probably 50% and 70% rate, depending on. And the ones that are hitting the 70s, they are already up there. They're elite up top, and that's why they're hitting like them kind of numbers.
Exactly, and I think this is why, like, obviously, we've got, profoundly skilled players, like yourself and Kelly and Sean and, Shaping and the rest of them, and also even the players that join the hub, it's like, profoundly skilled players, so it doesn't take much. If we're adding, another 2 or 3% of them, that's enough between winning and losing, easily.
Yeah, correct.
So many ways. I think like the most fascinating numbers like that, like you said, with Federer to me was Jack Nicklaus, which was statistically the most successful golfer of all time. Even Tiger Woods really become that close to his numbers.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And he lost, I think it's something like 97.5% of the tournaments he entered, he lost.
I mean, that's unbelievable, isn't it? And golf in that aspect is very similar to Paul. If you think about it, you turn up to a competition. If you go on a tour, there's let's say you go to a competition and there's 200, even 128 players. Yeah. There's one winner that walks out, only one.
Yeah.
And then there's 2-3 tournaments per month maximum, all different locations. So you do that over a course of a year, you're probably not getting over 100 winners in a whole year throughout and that's everyone that's playing pool up and down the country. So to actually be in the winner's circle, it's a small minority.
It is, and it's very much like, I mean, I think obviously, I coach from a few different places, obviously mindset, obviously, right, but also obviously like I've worked 30 years in elite sport way beyond Q sports, right, and obviously I'm teaching you guys a lot of like this. Ryan, this is what a tour golfer would be doing in terms of application and stuff, as well that I work with. But I think it helps me just because I've been there, like with what you guys are doing. Obviously, I wasn't competing in Q sports, but I was a multiple British champion as a race driver when I was young, and it's like I retired from that when I was kind of your age, but turning up at the event and we've got 250 guys, all fighting for the title that day.
Yeah.
And I know I've got this massive advantage because it's like I realise that sport is about turning up at the event with an advantage over everybody else, which is what, you and I are doing together, and put ourselves in that position. And it just gave you such for me, knowing that I had applied myself in every single aspect of my chosen sport, much better than I knew even my elite competitors were. I just, you kind of got, I suppose you're probably bordering on arrogant, like I mean, there was no nerves on the day. There was nothing to get nervous about. It was like, God, like what chance have they got? I know what their application is like in terms of how they've done that, so it's like trying to put you guys in the same position. But obviously it's a bit harder now than it was 20 years ago to tick that box because sport has come on a bit,
Yeah. I think that's essentially why I've kind of, because when I look back the other weekend, I've only been back playing 21 months. That's it. I've not even been back playing 2 years yet. And sometimes I have to like pinch myself a little bit and just say, look, like calm yourself down a little bit, because to achieve pro status within that amount of time, or to even be competing and practicing and taking sets and going toe to toe with some of the best players in the country, it's not, you know, it's come a long way, like in a short space of time.
It has.
So
I just about broke my face. I was grinning so much when you sent me a really excited voice note just shortly ago, just a couple of weeks back, saying you turned pro.
yeah,
It's just amazing. It's so exciting. Congrats, man.
yeah. Well, it was just about wanting to put myself in the deep end and just go for it. So I put myself forward, and I've been given the chance. And are you ready to ever do anything? I don't think you are.
No, probably not.
But if you don't put yourself under that kind of pressure and under that kind of, I mean, for me to wait any longer, I didn't want to wait any longer. I wanted to be put. I've always done better in life being put on the back foot and being, you know, right now's the time to push it and go. So I wanted that added pressure on my shoulders, and I asked for it and I got it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that how much on the back foot of. I mean, like your playing partners are, Craig Wonnington and Quinty Anson. I mean, it just doesn't get really much better than that. I mean, it's like, and you're measuring yourself, and at times, obviously, quite often standing toe to toe with these guys. So I mean,
Yeah,
it's like,
obviously, being respectful to what they are as players, they are doing it with ease. I mean, these players. I mean, when I play Craig, he's absolutely unbelievable. Like this guy is just autopilot, just boom up there.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
he's like he could have a full ball conversation with you, talking about football at the weekend, and he can still compete and play at the absolute pinnacle. So obviously, when I'm playing him, I've got to be in the correct frame of mind.
yeah.
I'm learning myself to still not get nervous, twitch, and all that. So I'm fighting all these different feelings, and I'm not going to lie and say I'm not. And
Yeah.
he's not. It's just autopilot, just like boom, 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 boom. When I control all them emotions, I'm obviously doing well, and I'm holding myself 100%. I
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
and I use the time just when I play with him. I also use the time to pick the brain as well. All these players, Clint. I have conversations with Clint all the time, and just like these. I mean, Clint sent me a list of everything he won recently because he's obviously asking for more sponsorship, and it's just A4 piece of paper, just boom, it's frightening. And
What a player.
I
Amazing
mean,
player.
I couldn't even, you can't even achieve that. I haven't got enough time to achieve that for a start. So just, getting to their level and being able to compete with these people, that's the biggest goal for me. And
Yeah.
however long that takes, I'm not really bothered. It's just, like I say, we're just learning how we're working together just to learn how to just embrace and enjoy the sport. And the
Yeah,
more I
yeah, yeah.
enjoy it, the better I seem to be getting. So I'm just trying to enjoy it more and more and more, and then let's
Yeah.
just see where it gets us, kind of thing.
It's all about the journey, right? That there is no ta-da moment. There is no like, when I achieve this, and this, I'll be happy. It's like,
Yeah,
this is what we go through. It's like it's all about right here, right now, and the good bit
yeah.
is this bit. You know.
Well, next year's a massive challenge to be playing and to be turning pro and playing with other pros. That's yet again, it's going to be a full season of a more of different emotions and different challenges. So the growth for me, like I say, compared to other players, I'm so far behind. Yet I feel like I'm motoring through my learning path probably 2-3 times quicker than the average person.
Yeah, yeah. And
So
you know what exercise I want to do with you that I've just kind of thought of. I want to get you on again, and because me and James have been discussing, we need to do a lot more YouTube. We've been a bit lax, but we've been so busy launching America with Kelly.
yeah,
But it's like I want to get you on 6 months from now, right? And then you can sit and watch this one and the one you'll do
yeah,
6 months from now. You watch it back to back. You watch how differently how
we
you do
talk.
a lot of stuff is.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
because like you're saying stuff like you're behind in that, and again, like that's no helping. You know, because it's like, of course you've got stuff to learn, but look, you're standing toe to toe with the best in the world in practice. There's nothing stopping you doing exactly the same. You perform like that in events, I would have no surprise. Honestly, you even coming home with a trophy during the course of the season, you even winning one outright, could totally see that happening. Totally.
well, fingers crossed. Obviously, my objective is to, because I think the whole process that we're doing is to really simplify everything, and being in the now, going out there and just taking that one shot.
Yeah.
That's where my focus has to stay.
Yeah.
Because if I think beyond that, I just find myself like kind of like wasting my time a little bit when I've got a challenge in front of me of just getting down and just potting the ball for a start. And
Well, yeah, on the table, absolutely. But in terms of like a destination that puts a smile on your face, you know, I mean, that's good and healthy. But yeah, I mean, like as I say, like if you look at, to me, like you going from amateur to pro is amazing and brilliant, but it's small potatoes compared to you getting over your gambling and the journey you've been on.
oh
It's that's astonishing.
yeah,
You
it
know,
is. And when you look at it like that, it is minor.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it's the fact that I've stopped gambling has probably led to this now.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. No, if you continued on even doing it in a semi-controlled manner, I don't you'd be where you are now because your self-esteem would be down, and it's like what you've done. You must be feeling so good about yourself and how you've turned stuff around. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's good. I don't tend to dwell on um, achieving things very very long though. I kind of like, right, okay, let's move on, let's work and move forward. Even when I got the pro, like I was excited for about 2 3 days, and then it's like, okay, now it's just time to work now.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
it's there's no point in overthinking it. It's happened now. It's been done. Let's move
No,
on.
roll
Like,
the sleeves up. Let's get
yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah. Let's just like, what's the next target? Obviously, the dream's always going to be to win an event. I mean, I'm not going to deny that. I've not visualized that millions of times.
Yeah.
But just try and keep that back there somewhere, and then just one foot in front of the other.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Because
No.
because some of the best players to grace the planet, they don't all win. You can't just assume that that's going to happen. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, just one step at a time. I think, I know when Clint he described winning his first tour, it's completely changed his life. It changed his game. It says his belief just went from there to there.
Yeah.
So until you achieve that, it's like, I mean, it's a game changer, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. No. Absolutely. It's just. I mean, nothing kind of spells that out more than things like, you know, we've yet to do a session on the table actually, but like some of the drills that Sheppy's filmed that are on the hub, it's like I see this with, especially on the snooker table, I've seen this a lot with the WST guys. Like they'll give them a drill to do that's now impossible, achievable, but can be possible, and they might spend 4 months trying to pass that for the first time, right?
Mm.
And so their mindset is one of, my God, this is incredibly difficult and now impossible. They pass it for the first time, the mindset changes to, well, I've done that now, so I
Correct.
can definitely do that. And so they spent 4 months trying to pass it once, and then you catch up with them a week later and they've passed it another 3 times that week.
Yeah.
And it's not because they've suddenly gotten hugely better, it's just because their mindsets on it changed. It's exactly the same what you described with Quinn. Him obviously getting his first big title, and then obviously look at the year he's had. you know, and
Well,
how many
is a machine.
finals him and Ellis were in together, right? I mean, it's just incredible.
It's just a winner, Clinton. He just knows how to win. And he don't care how he does it. It doesn't matter how it looks. Just go out there and win.
Yeah,
He's always been like that, to be fair.
Huge fan. He's a great player. No, he's just a great player. But no, it's good. Well, this has been a lot of fun and super congrats. Turning pro, it's just amazing. I was, as I say, I just about broke my face smiling that day when you sent me that voice. So that was amazing. Amazing. Really, really good. Really good. But so we're going to do this again 6 months from now.
Yeah. I'd like to do it constantly, like every 6 months, because I want to see where I'm going to be. Because my initial, I mean, I think you've always got to have some kind of time frame in your head, like just to give yourself targets in anything you do. That's work, sport, anything. My initial target was to be a pro by the time I'm 40. So, I mean, I've got to set new targets now, but I mean, the next one's got to be one to keep your tour card, your pro status card. I think you get 2 years. I mean, but obviously it's going to be to break into the top 32. It has to be, doesn't it? It's that simple. I tell you what. Well, the first one's to win one round. Go there, win a round. Get that one done first. But it's got to be to break into the top 32. I mean, and you've got to have some kind of ambition, don't you? So
you do, and it's like you touched on a good thing there just briefly with goals, and it's like in terms of goals, it's like most players think the goals are, this is a kind of free bit of advice for players, right? Most players think the goals are there to be achieved, and they're not understanding the purpose of the goal. The goal is to stretch more out of you. That's the
correct.
purpose of the goal, right?
To give myself drive.
The crime with goals is to make the goal too low and hit. That's the crime. What you want is something very, very far reaching. And if you just miss that, absolutely fine. I mean, like if you set a goal of being 4-time world champion, he ended up being 3-time world champion. How do you get about it, are you?
No, you've done all right, haven't
you? That's going to be okay. But it's always interesting seeing the players change. Especially like Ellis. Ellis changed so much in that. In terms of like what was it, 4 or 5 years ago, we started with him, and where he was at and where he's at now in the year that he's had has just been, incredible, obviously, So we'll be getting him back on here, and we're getting your mate Waddington's on here tomorrow night.
Oh, really?
Tomorrow night. Yeah.
Ah, cool.
So no, that'll be fun talking to him, and he'll be singing your praises, I'm sure.
Yeah. He's he's absolutely class, man. He's so humble as well.
Yeah, lovely bloke. And
I mean, he's a Man U fan, so we're connected that way, and I think that's what's like. We both understand what we've both been through for the last 10 years supporting them. So
right. Well, yeah, but you had the nice 10 years before that. 10 years.
Oh, we've had a lot of good years for that, but I'll tell you that I know I forgot about them now.
Were you not led by some Scottish bloke back then, Sir Alex?
Well, he is a man, wasn't he? I mean, I cried when he retired. That's how sad it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's remarkable. I mean, I'm not. I mean, he started at Aberdeen, and that was, I want to say something like 84 was the last non-Celtic Rangers championship win up here, and he led that. And then went. I
can remember. Did he not? Did he get into the? Was it your cup final at the time? Was it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think you're right.
I'm sure they beat Real Madrid in the final. I mean, I could be wrong.
They did. I can't remember when. It's terrible. My football, knowledge is not great. But yes, no, they did do tremendous well. Amazing. But yeah, what a legend, eh? Absolutely incredible. Yeah. But no, great. Speaking of legends, thank you, my friend. Really appreciate it.
And I appreciate your help as well, and I appreciate you checking me on from the beginning and having that belief in me as well.
No, it's been fun. You know, it's just been amazing. You've done so well.
I can remember the first time I said to you, when you said you can contact me as much as you want. I was like, "Are you sure?"
Yeah, still can. Yeah. No, it's great. No, I just wish everybody else is the same. You know, it's like so many others. I'm chasing Kelly's in Florida just now for the 10-ball world championship, and God, naughty Kelly. I've just been chasing her the last couple of days, and she eventually just called me tonight, and she's just got sponsorship stuff and
Oh,
sponsorship
nice.
and all the rest of it.
Yeah,
But
I've seen that she's doing really well.
yeah, a global icon. It's I suppose that's what happens. I'm sure the same might happen to you one day.
You never know.
Right, my friend. Thank you so much. Take care.
Right, thank you. Cheers. Bye bye.
Right, we're off.
Are we off? Are we?
I think so.